Hey everybody, it's Squidstorm from twitch.tv/SquidstormTV. First thing I wanted to do today was we want to talk a little bit about the character sheet, status effects, and things of that nature. Real simple how to, what each one means, and we're going to leave it at that. First of all, how do we get to the character sheet? Two ways to do so. You can click on the first icon on your hotbar, or if you want to click the letter C on your keyboard. That's the first two ways to do it. And you're going to see your attribute page. You're going to see ferocity, toughness, agility, and wisdom. Underneath that, you're going to see you have the ability to reset your attributes for 2,000 gold. That's all these points here. Or you can reset your passive skill tree for 2,000 primordial affinity. That is the Gate of Fates, where you assign all your additional passives. So, now that that's explained, let's go into the meat of what I wanted to talk about today under the Show Details tab. You're going to see a lot of things under here. First tab is Combat. Average damage, your attack speed bonus. Then you're going to see your crit chance for weapons, crit damage for your weapons, weapon damage, and then physical. Physical is the damage type for your weapons. That's all that means. And then what else is under that? You have toxic and rend. Okay, so let's talk about physical, toxic, rend. What is so important about those three? Those three can be boosted by material damage. So if you ever see physical, toxic, rend and you're wondering, well, what kind of damage is that when we're looking at it from a material damage standpoint? So just know that physical, toxic, rend is all material damage. Fire, frost, lightning is elemental. Aether, sacred, and shadow is considered occult damage. Okay, so let's go back up here. So physical, toxic, rend, fire, frost, ether, sacred, shadow. Okay, and then you have your ailments. Well, toxic procs poison, rend procs bleed, fire procs burn, frost procs freeze, aether procs stasis, sacred procs weakness, shadow procs shaded. Well, some of these are self-explanatory, like poison, bleed, burn, freeze. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Most people know those, especially if you played other ARPGs in the past. There's some other ones that may need a little bit more explaining because you're like, stasis, weakness, shaded. Weakness kind of sounds okay, like that. I can kind of grasp what that means, but what does it actually mean in terms of Wolcen Lords of Mayhem? So let's go down. And we'll jump back up in a second. But let's take a look at these three just for a second. Stasis. What does it mean? Well, hover over the word stasis under status elements and it will tell you exactly what it is. And this is for all of the abilities. Your ability to use the stasis element effectively. Stasis slows every movement of the target and can be stacked up to your maximum element stack number. What's your maximum element stack number? Well, the default is 10. There is passives in your passive skill tree that can increase that number, but the default is 10. So wow, stasis means I can slow the enemies. That's why everybody's using aether damage in their weapons. Got it, now I know. Weakness. Let's see what weakness is in terms of Wolcen. Well, weakness reduces all the resistance and damage of the target. So that means now every time I apply a weakness to a target, I'm lowering their resistances, meaning me and the party that I'm with are able to do more damage to it, and I'm reducing the amount of damage the target can do to us. Wow, so that's really good too. And then shaded from shadow damage. This is a little wordy, but we'll read it. Shaded may propagate the target's status elements to its nearby allies, except the shaded itself. Okay, so basically in layman's terms, shaded saying, which is procced with shadow damage, okay? It's saying we can take all the status elements status effects or ailments from the mob we're targeting and spread that to all nearby allies. Well, how big it just says nearby allies. Well, how big is that radius? Let's go down right here. Well, it's 4 meters. It tells you right here. That's how big nearby allies means. Everything you need to know is here. You just have to look for it. You have to dig in deeper to the character sheet, and all the information is here. You just got to know where to look, right? So now I've slowed one target, I've weakened that target. Now I apply shaded to it, and now every target within a 4 meter radius also has slow and weakness on it. So wow. Now not just one target, now like 20 targets, all in a 4 meter radius, now have slow and weakness on them. That is really helpful. Hence why I have Aether, weakness, and shadow damage in my weapon. Retaliator, Lockdown Ranger. Remember that video? Yep, that's exactly why we use those 3 gem types. Alright, let's go back up and go through some of the other things. So we went over combat, the different types of weapon damage that you can have on your weapons. So like this one has frost damage added, and then I put in Aether damage on it, right? This one, let me pull down that for a second, it has rend, fire, and frost damage. Rend is what? It's material damage, remember. Fire and frost is what? That's an elemental damage type. Whoops, wrong button, Squid. Wrong button. Okay. So we go back to here. And then we have our survivability. All this is pretty well known by now. But there's a couple things that I want to highlight here, right? Life leech. There's been a lot of problems with people saying, well, life leech doesn't work. I hit a mob and I don't get my life leech back. There's a reason why. Read it. Attack life leech. The percentage of damage from attacks which fill your life leech pool. The life leech pool is consumed to heal you when your health regeneration ticks. Okay, so basically, all the life leech that you have, whether it's 3%, 6%, there's a couple passives where you can get some life leech. All that's put into an invisible pool. And then whenever your health regeneration ticks, it fills your health bar back up. Well, how often does your health regeneration tick? Right here, it'll tell you. Every 3 seconds. That's why there's a delay on life leech, because you don't get it as soon as you hit the mob. You get it when your health regen ticks. So life leech does work, and the delay is intentional. Just an FYI. Same thing with force shield. Force shield regeneration. The percentage of force shield you restore per second when your force shield regeneration delay is over. Well, how long is the force shield regeneration delay? 2 seconds. And that is the amount of time without suffering damage until your force shield regeneration starts. You see what I'm saying? You have to read how each of these work. And then block chance versus block efficiency is another big one. People are like, what? What is that? Block chance. Your total block chance, blocking an attack will reduce its effect based on your block efficiency. Block chance is usually gained by equipping a shield. Block chance is just that. The chance you have of blocking an attack. Block efficiency, however, is actually how much damage you negate or mitigate by blocking that attack. So say I do block the attack, right? Am I going to block 25% of the damage, 50% of the damage, 75, 100% of the damage? That's block efficiency. So even though you block the attack, it doesn't mean you're blocking all the damage, just a percentage of the damage. That's what efficiency is. Okay? Some other things that people have asked me about. Let's see. We went over the different types of damage, and that an easy way to look at what type of damage it is, if you're not sure, is just go to resistance types. Material damage, physical, toxic rend, elemental, fire, frost, lightning, occult, aether, sacred, shadow. Your status elements is a good place to look if you need to know how long the poison duration is, and what your max damage can be, like, depending on the stack. Right now, obviously, you could tell I'm capped at the 10 because my stack starts at 9, goes to 90. 9 times 10 is 90. It's a real easy way to look at it right now, right? You want to see what the duration of those are, like for stun, 0.4 seconds. So these are all the things you want to look at when trying to build a build, whether it's lockdown, whether it's, you know, a toxic ailment build. These are all the places you're going to need to go to find the information you're looking for. And if you don't, you're going to be lacking a lot of information. Okay? Last but not least, I'm not sure if I went over this or not. A lot of people said, well, is O'Malley's just a plus? It doesn't say plus 48%. So is it just like plus 48 to your Magic Find score? Or is it actually like plus 48 to your Magic Find chance? Because there's no percent symbol on the belt, right? It just says plus 48 Magic Find. Well, what does that mean? Well, as far as I can tell, if you go to your miscellaneous, it says the Magic Find modifier increases the probability of looting uncommon items. And here, if I take the belt off, you'll see it goes to 0.0%. If you put it back on, it does go to 48.1%. So even though the belt only says plus 48 Magic Find, I do believe that it's seeing it as a percentage. Such as when you go over here to the expedition mode, and you're seeing plus 10%, plus 40, plus 70. So that belt is basically like you're doing, it's adding a plus 1 veteran mode Magic Find. So if I went in there right now, I'm getting plus 58% basically. Is the way I'm looking at it. If I'm wrong, and I find out I'm wrong, I will definitely let you know. But to the best of my knowledge, O'Malley's is currently working that way, just from what I'm seeing in the miscellaneous tree down here. It's showing percent, not Magic Find score. It's showing percent when you take the belt off and on. So this is my status effects and character sheet guide. If you feel I've left something out, or there was something important that you feel I should have added to the video, please just ask in the comments section and I will reply as soon as I'm able to. I appreciate your time. Glad that I was able to put the how-to video out and give some more information to the new players coming into Wolcen. I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.